So I'm doing two things. I'm walking and I'm reading. Maybe some other stuff like eating, but I joined a challenge for the month of July to try and walk 50 kilometers. I usually don't measure things in kilometers because I am American, but this challenge was on Strava, which is an app where you can track various different exercises like walking, running, bike riding, and they were using kilometers for the challenge. So that's what I'm going to be using to measure it, but I was already wanting to exercise more and get out walking because then I could also be in nature, so I figured I'd try and walk 50 kilometers, though I joined a week late because I didn't know about it until like July 7th. And then I was sick a little bit, so a little behind. But it's fine. And I thought, since I'm a reader, I could also see, how many pages I'm reading in the month of July. That is less of a challenge. I don't need 2 challenges. We're just gonna see. We're gonna see how many pages I can read. And I thought it'd be cool to not necessarily compare the two because walking and reading, different things. Hard to compare the numbers for that, but I thought it'd be cool to kind of have them side by side and just have a sort of productive month, though I don't want to say the word productive. I want to say more like personal growth or like doing things that I like and productive, sure. Happiness, yeah. So far I've walked 15 kilometers and we are kind of at the halfway point of the month, so I am definitely behind, but it's okay. I think I'll have to walk. I should walk at least every day. Some days I'm gonna have to walk further than others, but I think every day I probably should do that because I'm behind. And then page wise I'm at, I don't know, I think I'm gonna show you earlier some numbers, so whatever I said earlier, but it's 1,000 something, which I was kind of surprised at. I was like, whoa, 1,000? Which actually I don't think is that surprising. But where did those page numbers come from? Well, a lot of them came from reading War and Peace. I finished that out. I didn't read the whole book this month. And then I read the posthumous memoirs of Brodsky Boss and To a God Unknown, and then some of the pages did come from books that I'm currently reading but haven't finished, so there are some pages in here. And that's A Wild Sheep Chase and World of Wonders. But yeah, I mostly talked about books on this channel, but sometimes you gotta incorporate other things. And right now I'm into walking. So we'll see how these numbers hopefully grow. They can't shrink. That's a good thing. They can't go down. Yeah, so I have to go to work right now, but I'll probably walk after. But with working and walking, how much reading will I do? We'll see. Maybe it is a challenge. Life is a challenge in itself. Just living. We're just living. Anyway. So I just went on a little walk. So now I'm tired. Not because it was very long, but it's kind of hot outside, so that makes it a little gross. But it was just under 2 miles. So we're going. What is that in kilometers? I don't know. The app does the math for me. So apparently I'm at 19 kilometers now. But that's not why we're here. I wanted to update, or not really update, but just talk about the books I'm reading more because I just said what they were, but want to get into it and talk about it. So of the two, the one that I'm enjoying more for sure is World of Wonders, which is a non-fiction book where each chapter is dedicated to a new topic, mostly plants and animals, a lot of animals. But then within each chapter, which is only a few pages long, the author connects it to her own life and experiences and thoughts, and kind of just brings like the humanity to the science, if that makes sense. So it is a little bit memoir, but I wouldn't really categorize this as memoir, like kind of, but that's not what I would be like, it's a memoir. It's not really. There's not a narrative. You do learn about Amy, but it's not like a direct storyline or anything. So she does interweave these topics, these nature based topics, into her own experiences very well at some points, where I'm like, okay, that was a good chapter. But the thing I like most about it is just like the fun facts, the little things that I get to learn about whatever she chooses to talk about. Which one? I think there was one on whale sharks that I really liked. Or is that actually... Maybe I just like whale sharks. There was one about this specific bird, the potu. There's also illustrations, so that's really fun. This was one that I really enjoyed, and then one on fireflies. Yeah, this is definitely less, I mean, it is about her, but I mean, on the front, like this little subtitle says, "In praise of fireflies, whale sharks, and other astonishments." Wow, the two things on the cover were like the things that I said I liked. But yeah, so it's kind of like dedicated to those things more than herself, I think. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. And a little tangent that is still related to this book. On the side it says Milkweed Editions, and you know, on the back too. And I'd never heard of them before as like a publisher, so I looked them up earlier today and was like, maybe they'll have some more cool books because I'm enjoying this one. And they did. They had a lot of cool looking stuff on there when I was just scrolling, and I want all of them, basically. And I learned that they have a bookstore in Minneapolis, which is where they're based, or at least that's where they were founded, but I'm assuming they're still there. And I want to go there. Do I live near? Not really. But I looked it up, and I'm surprisingly like closer than I thought. Like, I actually thought it was gonna be farther away. It's like, it's driving distance. I can go. So shout out to Milkweed Books Editions. I'm not sure like the official. It's just Milkweed. I don't know. Shout out to them because they seem really cool and they're a non-profit. So one day I'll go to your store, hopefully. And then the other book that I'm reading, Wild Sheep Chase. This is just okay for me so far. I'm like 100 pages in, and like the first 40-ish pages I felt like were just unnecessary. Maybe it will come back around and be important, but as a reader, I was like, what does this have to do with the book? Because I vaguely know what this is about. Like with all Murakami books going in, you're kind of like, I don't know. But this one I do know. It's focusing on the sheep chase. There's like an adventure to find this specific sheep, or a flock. Is that what you call it? Herd of sheep? Oops, sorry. And yeah, it's just going okay for me right now, and I'm not feeling very motivated to pick it up, which isn't good. But I'm gonna keep going, and I do like Murakami, so it's not like I'm hating it or anything. There are definitely moments where I'm like, okay, that was a good line. And maybe once I get more into the sheep related plot, it will get better. But I'm just, yeah, I'm not really being pulled towards this one right now. But yeah, that's what I'm reading, so I'll probably finish this one pretty soon. I'm like a little more than halfway, and it's really short. It's like 165 pages. And then I'm hoping that I don't know if I'll once I finish one of these at least, so probably this one, I'll start another book, and then hopefully I can finish these two and then that other book all within the month of July. There's like a week and a half-ish left. I don't know how many days, like 12 days, I think, left. So hopefully I can like squeeze another book in there. I don't know what that would be. I have some ideas. We'll get there. But hopefully then, yeah, I can get more reading in. Because I have been in a sort of weirdish place with my reading. Where last month I did not finish many books at all. Which I understand because I was reading War and Peace. So that took up a lot of my time, but yeah, so I feel like I'm just getting back into the groove of things with my reading, but how many pages? I don't know how many pages I'm at. I really haven't read that much since yesterday, but that's where the reading is at, and I'll update again once there is something worth saying, but you can just know that I'm reading and I'm walking, and I'm reading and I'm walking. So, quick reading update because I'm tired. I don't want to talk that long, but I finished World of Wonders and it was a very nice reading experience. Thoroughly enjoyed. I give it 4 stars. I would recommend if it sounds like something that you would enjoy. But yeah, learned a lot of cool, just like little facts, and kind of made me appreciate more things. You know, like fireflies. When's the last time I was really thinking about fireflies? I don't know, but now I'm thinking about them. Went on a walk the other day and I was looking at them because it was a little nighttime sort of walk, and I was like, wow, look at those fireflies. Anyway, but yeah, some cool stuff in here. There's actually one that was towards the end that stuck out to me as just kind of like an example of like, I don't know, just some cool fun stuff you can find in here. This was about monarch butterflies, and this is like the very first part of this chapter. There's a spot over Lake Superior where migrating butterflies veer sharply. No one understood why they made such a quick turn at that specific place until a geologist finally made the connection. A mountain rose out of the water in that exact location thousands of years ago. These butterflies and their offspring can still remember a mass they've never seen, sound waves breaking just so, and fly out of the way. Sorry, the way I read that at the end. It's okay. But yeah, I read that, I'm like, insane. Really makes you wonder. It's a fitting title. So yeah, this was a very nice read. And I have read more of A Wild Sheep Chase. And I'm like exactly halfway through, and it is getting better now that we're getting into the like standard weird Murakami that I enjoy. What is happening? I feel like my hair, everything is weird. It's getting better. That's all I have to say. this morning, well, early for me, and maybe not for some people, but I woke up and I was like, usually I would just go back to sleep, but I was like, if I get up now, I can go for a walk before it gets too hot outside where it's just like really not enjoyable. So I did. It was just like a little over a mile. So walking and reading updates here. So far, as of, what is it? It's the 23rd. As of the 23rd of July, I have walked 31 kilometers. So we're getting there. It's happening. And, oh, I didn't do the math for the pages. Let me do that. Okay. So I've read 1,344 pages so far this month. And I did then finish A Wild Sheep Chase Out. That was part of those numbers. So, kilometers wise, good. Good. I should be able to complete the challenge with like the week that I have left. And page wise, maybe I can get to 1,500 pages. We'll see. But Wild Sheep Chase update. I thought it was okay / good. Like, I liked it, but I didn't love it. Definitely at the bottom of my Murakami ranking. There's just a lot in here, especially in the beginning, that felt unnecessary for the story that I just didn't care about. But once we started getting into more of the sheep thing going on, I was intrigued. Started getting into the magical realism. I liked it. Murakami's prose is always enjoyable for me. But like overall, it just was a little disappointing. So I'd give it around like three stars. But this is also the third novel that Murakami ever wrote, so definitely in the beginning of his career. So, you know, he was figuring things out. But I'm still glad that I read this one. Like, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't really it wasn't up there. But I'm also happy that I have now like this edition of one of his books, so I can kind of like start collecting these now, I guess, because I mostly just have like the American, I guess, editions or versions with the super colorful colors. So it's cool to have like this black, white, red one. So maybe I'll try and get more of these. But yeah, so finish that out. And that was just under 300 pages. It was 299 pages. So I'm going to be starting a new book now, which feels good. Like, I'm not reading anything right now, and it's just like I can go wherever I want to go. And I think I know. These are all my unread books right here, so I think I know what I'm gonna go for. Well, at least I did yesterday, but now I'm like, is that actually what I want to read? No, I'm gonna stick with my intuition, my initial book that I wanted to read. And that is Tula by Jurgis Kouncinas, which is, I don't know much about it. I found this book because I was specifically looking for Lithuanian books to read because I'm doing the World Reading Challenge and trying to read a book from every country. So the main character is a discarded, washed out man, a hopeless alcoholic, and a tattered student. It was saying something that He is a human metaphor depicting a human as a loving creature in the tragic and existential crisis world it falls to him to live in. And then all else that I know is that he's in love with this woman, I don't know, named Tula. And I don't know, I really don't know that much about it. But the cover is really fun and cool. And yeah, it's pretty short, but the words are pretty small on the page. But I think I'm just gonna go with this next and just jump in. So that's the reading update and the walking update as well, because the walking's good. My legs were getting sore a little bit, and it's been kind of hot because I went on a walk yesterday and it was way too hot. But you know, I just have to be strategic about walking, you know, either early in the morning or just like late night walking, because I think it's supposed to stay pretty warm. So yeah, there's that. So my intuition for this book was sorta right, sorta wrong. I read like 13 pages of it, and the writing is beautiful so far, and I think that it will be a book that I like. It's just, I don't think I'm in the mood for this. And like, I don't know, I just need to switch things up. I feel like all the books I've read recently, while they're all, you know, very different books, they all kind of have similar vibes, at least in my head. And this is kind of having that same vibe. I also wasn't really feeling any of the books that I own and are unread at this point. They just, again, weren't giving the right vibes, or were like too long. I don't want a long book right now, so I got more books. Mostly because I had some Barnes & Noble gift cards, otherwise I would have suffered. But yeah, I barely go to Barnes & Noble because it's so expensive, but I was like, I'm gonna take this opportunity and get some more books. And I actually read one of them already because it was super short, but I'll talk about that one last. But yeah, these were all books that I picked with like one thing in mind, and that just being like, do I want to read this book right now? Like, is it feeling like something that I need in this moment? Let's just get into it. The first one is a psalm for the Wild-Built, which, even though I do want to read this soon, probably won't be read that soon. Because this is actually one of the picks for the book club that I'm in, that I joined recently. But it's the September pick, and the meetings are like at the end of the month, so it's like 2 months away. But I feel like I'll still read it early, but just like not 2 months early. But I'm a little sad because I kind of just want to pick this up now because it's, from what I heard, it's just like a lighthearted, really short sci-fi book about a monk and a robot, basically. Yes, an optimistic vision of a lush, beautiful world. I need that. But I can't have it right now. But yeah, that was the first one. I also really like this cover. It's just so cute. So yeah. And then the second book I got is Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, which all these books are pretty short that I got, but yeah, this one's probably the longest. But I guess I don't know really what genre this is categorized as, but to me it's kind of seeming like mystery, maybe thriller-ish, because on the back it's saying like people are turning up dead in this remote Polish village, and that's mostly what I know. But again, that seemed like a kind of mystery was something that would be good, you know, very like, ooh, readable, I want to know what happens, what's going on, sort of thing. And I haven't read any Polish literature yet, and you know, here we go. My Polish book. My Polish ancestors are happy in their graves. You're welcome. But yeah, I think I'm gonna start reading this one today, actually, after I eat, because, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm intrigued, and this has been on my radar for a while, and then, you know, I finally just picked it up. But the book that I've already read is Mapping the Interior, which is the shortest of them all, just like about 100 pages, and it is a horror novella following this young Native American boy, and he sees this figure walking through his house at night in like full Blackfeet, I think, yeah, Blackfeet regalia, and he thinks that it's his father, who has been long dead many years ago, but he died mysteriously right before this boy and his family moved off of the reservation, and it kind of just unfolds from there. So this is like, you could say it's a ghost story, but it is so much more than that. I don't know, I wasn't really expecting anything going into it because I didn't know what I was getting into, but I got like so much more than just a horror book. Like, this is a powerful story of like family and ancestry and just like so many things. And I finished it and I was like, wow, this is 5 stars. Like, I wasn't really expecting it to be 5 stars, but it was. And now I'm like, I think I need to read more Stephen Graham Jones, because, and this is also getting me more excited to like dive into the horror genre more, because I've been wanting to. It's just, you know, I don't know much about the genre, haven't explored it much, but this is definitely the type of horror that I want to be reading. This is such a good book. Wow, I really did that. So I'm feeling good about all these books that I got, because starting off great, I knew the vibes. I went into the bookstore, I was there for a really long time, over an hour, and it was all because I was working it through in my head. I was like, what do I need? What is working? And it worked. So we'll see what happens with this one. But that's where the reading is at, in the book buying, more like. But yeah. is July 29th, and as you would have seen, I completed the 50-kilometer walking challenge today. And I also found 10 cents on my walk. So I was paid to walk. I feel accomplished, but also tired because it was kind of hot out on my walk. But yeah, I'm still gonna continue to walk. Probably not every day. My goal will probably be more like checking out trails and parks that are around where I live, like cool naturey areas, because that's kind of one of the things I was looking to do with my walking, was to also just spend more time outside. But in order to complete the challenge, I did just kind of have to walk around my neighborhood like every day, which was a little boring sometimes. It was nice. It was still nice. But yeah, so I'll try and do that, but I'm taking a little break from walking for a couple of days at least. And then with reading, I did start Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, which I'm like 100 pages in and I'm really enjoying this. The voice of the narrator and just like the writing style is, I don't know, it's good for me, it's working. It's kind of had some like beautiful lines or just moments that I'm like, oh, that's nice, I like that. Which I don't know if I was necessarily expecting, but I definitely want to read more from Miss Olga. Because yeah, I'm really liking the writing style of it, and I am intrigued to see where it will go. Because right now the main character is thinking that there's been 2 people that have been found dead, and she's thinking that the animals, like the deer, are fighting back or like getting their revenge on humans and killing them. So that's kind of fun. I don't know if that's true, but she's thinking that, and I like that. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying this, and I'm at 1,654 pages as of July 29th, and I know there are technically 2 days left in the month, but I'm just gonna ignore them. And it's my channel, I can choose to be delusional. So I just am tired. I just am like, let's just end the video here. I know technically it was like supposed to be like how much can I walk and read in the month of July, and technically there's 2 days left. So just imagine, if you want, if you feel unfulfilled by me ending it here, just imagine I'll probably read at least 100 more pages, but we're gonna say July's over. July's over. The next 2 days are me just dedicated to me, just resting. I will read more, but I don't know. I just wanted to just end it out, and just finish this video up because I have most of it edited by now anyway. So we'll see when I post this. I don't know. Who knows when you'll see this. But thanks for coming along with me on this walking and reading journey. I've read a lot of good books this month. Like, a lot of good books. And I've done some good walking. Some bad walking, like when it's really hot and I'm sweating, but I think it was all worth it. Bye!